Hi, welcome to my day. So I attempted to record this yesterday, but I was a little emotional, and after I'd started, I realized I never pushed record, so I decided to give it a break and come back to it. In the last 2 weeks, someone has parked twice in the last week. Someone has parked in the striped lines next to our accessible spot, um, and it's frustrating. Uh, so a week ago, last Friday, today is Wednesday. Friday, we were at a school for a fun fair, and we were parked near the stadium because that's where the handicap spots were. Um, when we came back, I was exhausted, and the someone had parked in our lines for our access ramp for Miles to get his wheelchair into the van. And it's happened before. People just have parked too close, but never just like blatantly in the lines. So luckily, I was just me and the kids. So now the kids are old enough that they can stand with Miles, and I trust them to just for a minute while I move the van out so we can get the ramp out. I did write a note. I have some sticky notes in my car, and I wrote them a note and put it on their windshield. I just didn't have the strength, the energy to call the police or anything like that. But I wrote them a note, and we got in and we left. They did not have the accessible placard, um, so they just parked there because they were lazy. Granted, it was super full, but still, they were being lazy. They could have parked somewhere. And then yesterday we went to a big medical center because Miles's pediatrician is in there, and yesterday it wasn't too full. Oftentimes I will go there and all the handicap spots are, all the accessible spots are full. Um, Last time I had to park in a stroller parking spot, which is kind of a stroller, but that's not like an illegal thing. Uh, so yesterday we come out from the doctor's appointment. There were a handful of accessible spots there. We come out and someone had parked in my lines again. Now they had a placard on their dash. I'll show you a picture. They had a placard on their dash. Uh, from my picture, you can see that it looks like someone had parked wonky in the spot next to me. But instead of just leaving that spot wonky, they decided to park in my spot. So this health campus has valet parking that you can utilize, free valet parking. So you can go up and have someone park your car for you if there are all full spaces. I don't know if they were in a rush or whatever, but either way, they made their problem my problem, and I had no choice. I don't know if they could walk or not, but I had no choice to use my ramp. Um, and yes, I could have parked Miles on the sidewalk. It's not like he's gonna go anywhere while I moved my car out, but I dislike it. Gives me a little anxiety attack to leave him by himself because I mean, who's gonna take it? A child with disabilities, but still, you never know. Anyways, it just gives me a little panic attack to leave him. If I have to, I have to. Luckily, there was enough space next to my van that I could lift him in on the other side. Once he gets heavier, though, that's not an option, and it's not the point. The point is, um, well, I did write them a note too. I suppose I could have gone in and told the people at the desk. I mean, it's a big center. Like, there's offices. There's so many different things in this building, so it's not like they could have just made an announcement. And it would have taken me a lot of time to probably to go and find someone to report it. So it's kind of, I guess I could have made a phone call. It's kind of like people are just like, you should report it, you should call it in, and it's like to take the time. It's just the whole idea. Oh, it's just frustrating. It's just the reality of the situation. People who have disabilities find it very, at least most of us, find it very, we try to be as independent as we can, to not rely on other people, to not have to ask for help. We do learn that hard lesson that we have to. But when you take that from us, it just gives you this feeling of hopelessness or helplessness, and I guess not hopeless, helplessness. And it just kind of leaves you feeling very vulnerable. And so, even though I could get him in the car, it did get me a little emotional. I was trying really hard not to I did cry. Maybe not, I was in the parking lot, but for maturity of the ride home. So it's a whole lot of sticky emotions where you're feeling helpless, you're feeling vulnerable, you're feeling like I'm realizing that in the future I will not be able to lift him on the other side because he is going to be heavy and he's growing. And the reality of that is mixed in there. And just thinking of people who are in power chairs, and if they drive, if they're by themselves, or even if they're in a power chair with somebody else, like they can't get into their vehicle if someone is parked in that spot, and they couldn't back it out if they're by themselves. So, because some people have hand controls to drive their own vehicles, but you can't get in and use those if you can't get in your ramp. They would have to wait until someone came and helped them. And I don't want to be the person who calls and has someone get towed or gets a $200 fine. I don't want to put that on people, but yet, people have to learn to be considerate of others. So it's just a whole mix of emotions, and it's a mess. So don't park in the lines. And if you do have an accessible placard and there's an option of parking in a spot with no lines, like an accessible spot with no lines, or an accessible spot with lines, if you don't need the wheelchair extra space, park in the one without lines, because sorry, my alarm is going off. Because that means I can't park in that other spot because it doesn't have lines. Good morning. I'm doing a video. I'm doing a video. I'm almost done. Trying to think if that's everything I wanted to say. Yeah, so I had posted a post on Facebook about it, but I didn't want to do the whole tangent of the whole emotional mixed bag of things that come with it. So it's just something to consider. Like, even if you do have the right to park in those spots, if you have the choice of one or the other and you don't need the lines, leave it for somebody who does, and just park in the other one. It's not a big deal, but there is a reason for those lines. It's for people who need that space for their van and for their wheelchairs or walkers or whatever. So yeah, just keep that in mind. I might have to get a cone to put in my spot so people don't park me in. And then next time we get another accessible van, when this one dies, we are getting rear loading so we don't get parked in, because that's a pain. I didn't want to have a rear loading because I didn't want to take up people's driving space and them having to wait for us in a parking lot, but this way we won't be stuck. Anyways, so thanks for watching. You were made on purpose, and God loves you, and He has a plan for your life. Just talk to Him, and He'll take you on a really cool adventure. So have a good day.